It's true that as with most languages beginning with fixed size arrays and then offering resizable behavior or adding sort functionality, we will often find that functionality is provided that lets us search through an array for a particular value. Now, sometimes you just want to know, does a value exist? Yes or no, true or false? And sometimes you want to know, does that value exist? And if so, where is it in the array? Now, across languages, the most common term for the first piece of functionality, where we want just a yes or no result, is contains. Being able to write something along the lines of this, my array dot contains some value, and just returning a Boolean. But it is more typical that we don't just want to know if a value exists in the array, we want to know what position it's at, what index. And the most common term for this method or function is index of. Now, once again, I'm writing non-specific code here. This behavior might be part of the array object itself, so you could write something like myArray.indexOf, or in other languages, you may have to use a separate utility function or method that takes two parameters. One's the array you're searching, the other is the value you're searching for. As you're expecting an integer result from this, the index position of whatever you're looking for, if the value isn't found in the array, what you'll typically get is a result like -1 to indicate that it was not found. But this is a very common piece of functionality. It's actually index of in Java, it's index of object in Objective-C, it's index of in JavaScript, it's index of in C# and Visual Basic, it's just index in Python, and it's index or find underscore index in Ruby. They do exactly the same thing. Now, as I'm showing here, you won't always find a contains equivalent. There's not always a verb just to get a Boolean true or false for whether an object exists, but of course what you can do is just call index of and ignore what the actual result is, just figuring out if that object existed somewhere in the array. Because here's the thing, whatever the syntax, whatever the language, anytime you write a statement with the words index of or contains, it should be another thing. That, like writing a sort statement, should give you pause for thought. It should give you an internal flinch response. Because this might be doing a trivial amount of work, but it might be doing a linear search of an entire million-item array. And just because you didn't have to write that linear search code, and you can write a small, simple statement like index of or contains, well, that doesn't mean you're doing anything efficiently. This could be terrible performance. So what's the alternative? Well, once again, there might not be one. If you genuinely have an array of unstructured data, there may be no other option than a total and complete brute force linear search. If, however, you can order the data in your data structure, then searching becomes immensely more efficient. Let's take a look at that.